This video will go over the process for applying interest to your equity accounts that accrue interest throughout the year. To access interest allocation, go to Tenant Accounting and select the Interest Allocation option. If you do not have the option available, please contact HDS Win Support at 608-786-2366 extension 2 so that we can set that up for you. When you enter the interest allocation screen, depending on how you post interest, you will see one of two menus. Our most common interest allocation screen will display all 12 months of the year and give you a box to enter in the annual percentage rate to use for each applicable month. If you post interest based on the amount of interest received for the account, you will see a different screen and your process will be slightly different. First, we will go through posting interest allocation based on the annual interest percentages. If you post based on the amount of interest, disregard the steps shown until we get to the alternate interest allocation tutorial. To begin, select the program, projects, and equity category you're posting interest for. The next step is to identify what months you're going to post interest for. Most clients will post their interest based on either the entire calendar year or based on their fiscal year. For calendar year, simply enter in the interest rate under each of the 12 months and make sure you have the correct year to apply selected. Once you're ready, select Continue, and it will go through and process all the names of the people in that project. Here we can see it going through the names in the upper right. And this can take the system anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes, depending on how many people are in the program. And we'll just skip ahead in the video so that we don't have to wait for this. And so it finished processing everyone in the program, and here we can select Output to print out a report to make it easier to review the amounts. And looking at the report, we can see that it's taking the balances for each month and determining how much interest they should get for each one of those months and giving us the total amount of interest posted for our time frame. And you can print this report out to review them all before actually posting the actual interest for the year. And when you're finished reviewing, simply click Post Adjustments. And once it's finished, it will give you a pop-up saying that the interest is posted. And if we were to check the tenant ledger of one of the people who were on those lists, here we can see it posted the FSS interest. And if we take a look at that transaction, it's given us a summary of how it came up with this amount. If we wanted to post interest for a fiscal year that does not line up with the calendar year, the process is slightly different. In this example, we will say that our housing authority's fiscal year end is March 2015. In this case, we first have to select the year to apply as 2014 and only enter the annual interest in for April through December. And here we'll do 1.5%. And we'll hit Continue here. And once it finishes, we'll hit Post Adjustments. So essentially, because we have to post interest for either 2014 or 2015, and we can't do both at the same time, when you're dealing with a fiscal year, you have to split up what months land in 2014 and split up what months land in 2015. And so it ran through, so we're just going to post the adjustments for 2014. And then we're going to, I like to exit all the way out and come back in, just because it will reset all these interest amounts to 0. And so we just did April through December of 2014, so now we just have to do January through February and March of 2015. And we'll just follow the same process. We'll run through it, and when it finishes, we'll post our adjustments. So this process effectively allows us to only post interest from April 2014 through March of 2015 using 2 steps. Whatever month you enter in an interest rate for, it's going to post interest for, so you just need to be careful not to select any months that have already had interest posted previously or don't fall into the time frame that you're posting the interest for. Finally, a small number of our clients use a completely different process for posting the interest amounts. You can contact HDS Win support at 608-786-2366 extension 2 in order to change what interest posting method your housing authority uses. One of the key differences in this system is that you can only post interest for 1 month at a time, whereas posting based on the annual percentage rate can be done for the entire calendar year at once. For these clients, they will see this screen when they select interest allocation, and instead of a place to enter in the interest rate for each month, we have a place to enter in the monthly amount of interest accrued for the entire bank account. To get started, select your program and projects you are working with, and select the equity category you are posting interest to. Then type in the amount of interest we're distributing for your particular month. And finally select what month the interest accrued in. After selecting Continue, the system will use the tenant's equity balances to determine how much of that interest amount each tenant should receive. After it calculates everyone's interest amount, you can select Output to get a report, which will enable you to review the amounts that it's going to post for everyone. And when you're ready, select Post Adjustments to apply the interest to all your tenants' accounts. And if you take a look at one of your tenants' ledgers, here we can see it posted interest. And if we look at the transaction info, it gives us comments on where the interest is coming from. And that's all there is to it.